there are a number of questions we wanted to cover, but just to remind you, the viewers, that we do welcome all your questions, and we will try and cover as many as possible today and in future programmes. If you'd like to send your questions in, the email address to send them into is faithmatters@mta.tv, or if you'd like to fax, the fax number is the international dial +44 208 687 8037. I know we don't have very much time left, but just picking up on the last point that you made, Imam Saab, about the equality of treatment, James Pearson, who asked the original question, apologies, Thomas Burns, who asked the original question, has a follow-up question, which is, if a man is allowed to have more than one wife, then why does Islam prohibit a woman from having more than one husband? So perhaps you could just shed light, taking your point further.
Because I use the word equality.
Yes.
So equality is there, but I think there should be also considered that actually, if the woman is allowed to have more than one husband, then it will be again a crisis of equality there, because practically it will be something very difficult. That is why in no culture, at no point of time in history, we see this practice to be seen among the people. Leave aside the question of Islam or religion. Just take the people in general. Do we see anywhere where ladies are having more than one husband on regular basis? What happens in some countries, unfortunately, that they have the relationship outside the wedlock to so many people, that's another thing. That's a temporary sort of thing. But on a regular basis, as a marriage, has ladies ever opted for having more than one husband? Because practically, emotionally, it is something which generates crisis. So that is not possible. That is why there are questions regarding the children as well. Whose child is that? The newborn baby, who is the father, and this and that. Question of inheritance will also come. Their compatibility with one another, and the demands about husband and wife relationship and all these things. I mean, these are the things. No need of going into much detail, but one can realize that practically it will create more problems than it will solve. So that is why Islam has said this.
There is an element of kind of protection of society as well, yes, that you would effectively have a breakdown of society if you were to facilitate this.
Another thing is that Islam is religion of nature. So biologically, men and women are different. It is possible that two women give birth to two children belonging to one man. That is possible. But on the other hand, it is not possible that one lady give birth to the two children of two different husbands at a time. That is impossible. So this is how the teaching of Islam has some reason behind it and philosophy behind it.
Yeah, there is a clear logic there.
Yeah.
We don't have very much time left.
Yes.
One question that perhaps we can touch on very quickly, Mansoor Rahman from Toronto, Canada, has asked, why is eating pork forbidden in Islam? We think we've got about a minute or so. Perhaps just a very quick answer.
Well, the thing is that Allah Almighty is the proprietor. He is the one who has given us so many things to eat and drink. If that proprietor says that for my sake and for your sake to demonstrate your willingness and obedience to my command, if you just abstain from one, that should be good enough reason for a faithful person. Leaving aside the problems with the pork meat and the problem of diseases and all that, and the lack of modesty and so many other sexual problems are there. So leaving aside everything, I just take this very point that if the proprietor of everything, that is God Almighty, He says to His people that look, you enjoy everything, just for my sake you abandon one and abstain from one. That should be good enough for a person.
It's an example of that obedience.
Yes. I mean, if a person goes to the house of somebody and wants to touch something, here and there, fiddle with some machinery, if the owner of the house says, don't touch it, people generally listen to that one.
Yes.
So why not to God Almighty?
Doctor, very quickly.
Prophet Musa has said that in the name of this animal is the reason why it has been forbidden. Khinzir, he has said, is from khins and ar. I see bad in it. And so that is the root. He said that Allah has given it that name. I see bad in that. So that is in its name. We are indicated that it's bad in it, and as Imam has elaborated on that.
A very quick point is that it is not Islam, the first religion which has prohibited eating this flesh of swine. Already Christianity had also the same teaching, and Judaism also held the same teaching, because in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 to 8, it is said, and the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
Jazakallah, Badr Sahab. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but Jazakallah to the panel for their very scholarly answers. And Jazakallah, thank you to you, the viewers, for your fascinating questions today. We hope that you'll be able to join us for future programs, and you'll be able to submit your questions that we can put to the panel for their answers. Just a reminder again, the email address faithmatters@mta.tv, or if you prefer to fax us, the fax number is +44 208 687 8037. We hope inshallah you will be able to join us for future programs. Jazakallah, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.